Man, oh man, do I have a physical backlog. Hey, what's up everybody? Jersey Game Squad here, and just want to do a video about my physical backlog. So, I didn't always have this backlog until, well, I should say I've had this pretty recently. The reason why is because I did have, of course, the Xbox Series X, and I had the PS5 digital, and of course I had the Switch. But I feel like, and all the companies have been giving us all the examples of as to why digital is bad, even though it is the inevitable future, why it's not the answer right now. As far as like, Microsoft going offline and all of a sudden you can't play any of your games, or PS5, yeah, that happened once or twice to me, but to a lesser extent because you could do some things in the settings and play them offline. But Sony, with the Discovery, like video on demand stuff that they took away in December or whatever they did, I think they moved it. Or anyway, taking away digital media rights is the reason why I started to go physical to, or digital to physical. In the case of my PlayStation, I did, like I said, I did have the digital version of the first PS5, but back in December, when I decided to start doing physical again, GameStop was running some sort of special where they would give you like max credit for whatever you traded in, like $250. Things over $250, I think, is what it was. Anyway, I brought the PS5 digital in, not thinking I wouldn't get very much because it's digital. It doesn't play physical games, so whatever. They gave me like $360 for it. So I took that money, put it towards a disc-based PS5, which is actually the Slim, and went crazy buying stuff. So a lot of this is Xbox, a lot of it is, or some of it is PlayStation. Two are Switch, currently in the backlog. I had more, but I played through some of my stuff. And then of course I have the, and I did a short about this on another channel, but the Nintendo World Championships NES edition. I haven't opened it yet, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, these are all of my physical games that are currently in my backlog, and figure I'd just go over some of them, kind of explain where I got it, why it's still in my backlog, why I haven't played it yet. So first up here is Metroid Prime Remastered. I got this game probably last year, I think it was, last April, and it was because I had gift cards. I had a gift card to Target, and I was just looking on their website, just looking at different video game stuff, video game accessories and stuff, and I saw this was pretty cheap. I think it was like $30-40, and I've never played a Metroid game. So I was like, all right, let me check, pick it up, check it out. I bought it, and I kind of forgot I had it, basically. So I haven't played it just yet. You know what? Hang on one sec. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. Can I? Oh, I can't. Okay, that's fine. Sorry if it's a little far away, but I'm trying to figure out my filming setup. Anyway, getting back to more important things here. Yeah, so Metroid Prime Remastered. I hear it's a good game. A lot of people are hyped for the new one. Haven't played it just yet. We'll get to it eventually. Next up is Paper Mario. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I have been playing this. I've been playing this a lot over the last week. I love this game. This game is pretty cool. Now I played Mario RPG, the remake, which was another backlog game, but I finished that. That was good. I mean, to me it feels dated because of it being first on the Super Nintendo and it being a Square Enix game. And I don't know, Square Enix games, I've never really played one of those either. I'll be honest with you. I've never been into RPGs like that, which is going to make one of my other games here pretty interesting. But yeah, lately I've been getting into like the turn-based RPGs and stuff. So Mario RPG was good. Paper Mario. I was like, I love this art style. I've just, from what I've seen, never actually played it. But now I've played it, I'm glad I actually did pick this up. So this is one that I am going to keep playing. Right now I'm on chapter 3, I think it is, where you're kind of going up the ranks and you're going to go against the main guy, and there's troubles ensuing and behind the scenes, that sort of thing. I'm like towards the end of that chapter. Anyway, on PS5, the next 2 games. Now this isn't necessarily a backlog game, but I'll explain in a minute. So I have The Last of Us Part 1, Last of Us Part 2. I've played these digitally on the PS5 through the PS4 remaster and for Last of Us 1, and then of course Last of Us 2. I love these games. These have become 2 of my most favorite games of all time. All the different controversy aside, blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me at all. I love these games for what they are, and for the characters, and for the story, and the way different things in the games make you feel. Whether it was good or bad, right or wrong, I love that. I love the characters. I love what they did at Naughty Dog with these games. So when I started going physical, I had to get these. So Last of Us 1 is open, and it was because I just wanted to see how installing a game worked. This is one of my first games I got when I got my Actually, the first game I got when I got my PS5 Slim. So I wanted to see what installing a game was like and how it all worked. That's the only reason why it's open. It's still installed. I plan on going back to it and playing it. I haven't yet. Last of Us 2, I do want to eventually play, but it can stay sealed for a very long time, and I'll be fine with that too. These are perfect games. I want to keep them in good condition. They are not leaving my library anytime soon. So, yeah. Next game, Killzone Shadowfall. So, the way I got this game was when I started going digital, or when I started going physical, I started going crazy on like eBay and like, okay, what's some good games from PS4 launch, PS5 launch, cheap games that look okay, that look good, I can get for pretty cheap. Killzone was one of them. No, I take that back. Well, that eBay thing was right. Actually, I got this from GameStop. Yeah, actually, this was GameStop. So this was actually part of a early on in the year, they had like a 4 for 20 or 4 for 40, 4 for 30, something like that. You get 4 games. As long as they're under a certain price, they discount them and blah, blah, blah. So that's how I got this. So this was part of that. But yeah, I saw it on the shelf. It was cheap enough. I looked it up real fast on my phone. I was like, all right, cool, I'll get it. So first-person shooters are always fun. I was primarily Xbox before I was ever PlayStation. Interesting fact, PS5 is my first PlayStation console, my first official one. I had a PS1, but it was more my sister's. My brother had a PS2, but I was always the N64 kid, or the Xbox kid, or the GameCube kid. So, a couple of years ago, I just decided to go all in. I mean, I'm not a fanboy. I try not to be. So, I wanted to see what I was missing, and I'm glad I did. Last of Us, But anyway, that's where this comes from. This came from a GameStop deal. So, going back to what I was saying about Square Enix. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, not a PlayStation guy growing up. Didn't have the me officially, I always say I didn't have it. It was in the household, but I didn't have a PS1, so I never played Final Fantasy. And the thing too was I wasn't really into RPGs and turn-based blah 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 and all that stuff. Even though I think this isn't a turn-based anymore, from what I understand, I'm not sure. But anyway, I figured if I was gonna go all in and see what I was missing, I might as well go Final Fantasy VII. I saw this at a flea market near me. I saw it on the table. He had it marked for like $20. I said, "We take 17, 18, whatever it was." Yep, sure, got it. I got this in like February. I haven't played it yet. It's in the backlog, but I do plan on playing this soon. All right, so that's that. Now these next two, these were just on eBay. These were for sure eBay. I'm not misremembering. These were on eBay. I saw them cheap for like 99 cents or $1 or something. I just put a bid in thing I wasn't going to get. I figured somebody was going to outbid me at the last second, but nope, didn't happen. I got Ghostbusters, the video game, which I actually hear good things about. Interesting as a GameStop sticker for $17.99. But I got it for like I said, like $1 or $2. So in pretty good shape. I mean, the disc. Well, I should say the disc is rough, but it's still installed. I at least tried to install it just to see if it would play, and also a 360 game. I wanted to make sure it worked. And yeah, so that's going to play that pretty soon. Xbox 360 is my favorite console of all time, hands down, no questions asked. Period. Full stop. End of story. So anytime I see a 360 game that looks remotely interesting, that isn't $1 million because of the whole marketplace thing, I'm going to pick it up usually. So got this, and that leads me into my next game, which is also a 360 game for cheap, for like 99 cents. Lost Planet 2. Lost Planet 2. I have this game digitally on Xbox, probably through like Games with Gold a bunch of years ago. But part of me buying physical games was also buying some games that I had digitally that I wanted physically. Last of Us being 2 of those examples. A couple other games in here too. But yeah, I decided to pick this one up anyway. Now, the disc is in rough shape. It is split, or it is cracked on the inside. I popped it in anyway into my Xbox. I have an Xbox One X that I popped it into. It spun up, and it's going to be okay. I mean, all I really needed to do is just check the license. So that should be okay, but not too happy about that. Maybe if I care, I'll get a replacement, but I don't care. Next game, Spyro, the trilogy, or the Reignited trilogy. I started playing this already. It's installed on my Xbox. I installed it because I thought maybe my son would be interested. He doesn't care. But I thought it was pretty cool. I played a little bit of the first Spyro, like a world or two. I haven't gotten very far. This is going to be kind of like I have a couple minutes, let me just play something kind of game, which I tend to install on my consoles. But yeah, anyway, not really much to say about that. Actually, I got that through in the next couple of games. Actually, when Walmart was having that crazy deal or sale where like everything was $5, $10, whatever it was, this was one of the games I got. Now, some of the other games, and I'll just kind of rattle these off pretty quick. These are the other games I got as part of that. The Quarry, a WWE 2K23, which was actually a little more, it was like $15. No, this wasn't one of them. No. Need for Speed Unbound and Saints Row. Saints Row I heard not great. Don't really know much about Need for Speed Unbound, but I do like Need for Speed games. WWE 2K3, I was a kid of the Attitude Era. I don't really watch much wrestling nowadays, although I've been trying to keep up here and there with WWE since WrestleMania, because I thought WrestleMania with Rock and Roman Reigns and all that stuff was pretty interesting. So I decided to just grab this, even though it's a little older. And then The Quarry. The Quarry I thought was interesting because it's a narrative type game. I played Until Dawn, or part of Until Dawn on the PlayStation, so I don't really have high hopes for this because I was kind of bored by it. But I'll still try it. I'll still give it a try, especially with Halloween coming up. I want to play this and another game around Halloween that's in here too. So be on the lookout for that. By the way, I'm going to try to do more streaming. I'm actually going to stream something tonight, which is actually Monday the 26th. So I don't know if this video is going to go out tonight or tomorrow or the day after, but either way, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that good stuff, like, share. You'll see when I'm playing. I'm usually playing Fortnite, but I'm going to play another game that's in this list here I'll tell you about pretty soon. Just Cause 3. This game, where did this come from? Oh, this was in the same lot as Killzone, Shadowfall. I got this at the same time for like a deal, so it was a couple bucks. And yeah, I've heard good things about Just Cause. I think I have this or maybe one of the other Just Causes digitally. But again, I was trying to get more physical than digital, just to have them, build a library. I have a bunch of games, but as of recently, as of late, since the Xbox One days, I just haven't been buying physical. So I'm just trying to build my library. Anyway, moving on. This game, Gears 5, I have digitally. I have played through digitally. My cat's meowing in the background. But I have Gears 5. The only reason why I picked this up was two reasons. One, physically, but also it is sealed. This must be dead stock. I don't know. It has this like yellow sticker on it, so I don't know if that's from I think it's a Walmart thing. I don't know what the deal is with this, why it's still around, why it's still sealed. Maybe Walmart was just trying to get rid of dead stock. Anyway, I have it sealed. It'll probably stay sealed since I have it on Series X Game Pass, but I thought it was cool just to have. Let me turn these around so that it doesn't make sense to have these not showing anymore. Right? Oh, much prettier. This next game I'm going to play around Halloween. I don't know if I said Christmas before. Anyway, I'm going to play this around Halloween, probably starting September. My youngest son, is obsessed. And when I say obsessed, like you wouldn't believe, with Halloween. In the last week, we've gone to 3 Spirit Halloween stores. He runs around thinking he's Michael Myers. He's obsessed. He watches this stuff all day long on YouTube Kids, whatever. But anyway, and he's not going to watch me play this game. But the next game I want to play, since now I'm in the Halloween spirit because of him, Resident Evil 4 Remake. I have some of the old Resident Evil games on GameCube. I just wasn't a fan of the whole camera in place, running by it, trying to figure out where I'm shooting the zombie that's in front of me, but around. But I hated that stuff. So I have them. I never really played them. Resident Evil 4, when it first came out on GameCube and all the other consoles, was one of the things, one of the big games. Got to play it. I tried again, same thing. Well, not really, because it was at that point it was third person, but the whole having to stop, shoot kind of thing, I didn't like that. I couldn't get into it. Whatever the reason was, I couldn't get into it. What I've seen of this game online and through gameplays and stuff, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So I picked it up. This was January. Again, my whole plan was to save this for Halloween, not to stream, but by that point I was just like, this would be a cool Halloween game because I like playing Halloween games around Halloween. I played Costume Quest 1 and 2, which top games for me as far as Halloween games go, because it brings back that nostalgic feel of when I was a kid. What was I saying? Anyway, I played all the Dead Spaces around Halloween, so even if, what I was doing for a couple of years is I would play Dead Space 1 for the month of October, and I wasn't playing consistently because I'm just busy. But I would play that game, and if December 31st came and went, I would stop playing it until next year. Next year, start playing it again. Oh, I'm done. Play Dead Space 2. Oh, it's Thanksgiving, or it's November. Stop playing it till next year. I did this for 2-3 years. And then, of course, Dead Space 3 I beat last year before. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, I'm not going to do the same thing with, but I am going to start playing this late September, early October. So I'm excited to play that. These next 3 games I just picked up. Well, I'll save these for last, actually. But anyway, the next game that I'm going to be streaming, aside from playing Fortnite, which I'm going to do tonight, the next game I'm going to stream on PS5 is Returnal. I've been excited to play this game ever since I got my PS5 Slim. I've been excited to play this. The night I bought my PS5 Slim, I saw this on the shelf. I was going to grab it, but I spent too much money as it is, so I'll save it for another day. Got it from eBay. It was, $20 or so. Great condition. The case is in great condition. The disc is. Whoever had it, played it, put it back in the case and never looked at it again, is what I'm thinking. But Returnal, have it installed. I started it up just to kind of look at it, but I realized it goes right into the game, so I stopped it right away because I'm like, I want to play this on stream. I want to check it out with people. So, and now these next 4 games are from a couple days ago. So GameStop right now in store. I don't know if they still have it right now, but GameStop in store had like the 4 for $40 deal again for games $20 or less. So these 4 games I picked up, and the 4 games actually turned out to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually turned out to be 7 games the way it works out. So the first game is Devil May Cry. As far as I understand it, and I could be wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, I think it's like a hack and slash, sort of like Bayonetta, but maybe not. Hopefully not, because I tried playing Bayonetta earlier this month. I didn't like the controls. I stopped playing it, and I wasn't really getting the story. So, but Devil May Cry is one that I've always heard about, never played. I want to check it out, so I picked it up, and it was, of course, cheap. This next game is 3-in-1. The main reason why I got it is two reasons. One, I have kids, of course, like I said, but also my wife used to play some of these games when she was growing up. And that is the Disney collection. So it's Aladdin, The Lion King, and then bonus Jungle Book. So, of course, I played Aladdin on the Sega Genesis, rented it. I think I just, whatever. Lion King, my wife played. I remember her playing that on like one of those like Super Nintendo pop the cartridge in kind of emulators. But yeah, anyway, nostalgic things. Next game is actually 2-in-1. I'm sure this is going to come to Game Pass at some point. It's inevitable, right? But I figured I would get it physically since it was in store for cheap. And that is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remake, or Remastered, whatever they call it. Remastered. I wasn't going to get the Call of Duty 1 Remaster on its own because I'm like, I've played it back in 2009 or 2008, whatever it was. I don't need to play it again. 2007 maybe? Just a remaster? No, I'm not going to play it again, even though I do have some other remasters. Anyway, just didn't see a need to. And I wasn't really into Call of Duty. I haven't been into Call of Duty for the last couple of years, but yeah, it's piquing my interest again. So I was like, okay, well, I've never played Infinite Warfare. This comes with it. You know, not with a code. It's actually on disc. The license, whatever, is on disc. So might as well grab it. So that's 2 games. And then the last game, besides this, but the last game I have physically that I haven't played yet is Far Cry 6. Again, didn't really have any interest in picking up a Far Cry game. It is cheap. It looked pretty cool from the previews I've seen over the last couple years, so I was like, why not give it a shot? That's why I got it. Other games that I have that aren't sitting in the stack right now that I've played are things like Super Mario RPG, like I said. Knack, I just finished recently. I have Gears of War 4 physically, but I've played that, so I just forgot to grab it. Some other games I'm probably forgetting. Super Mario Odyssey. No, not Odyssey. Super Mario, what the hell's the last game that just came out? Super Mario Wonder. And a couple others. Anyway, doesn't matter. These are my games currently that I am focusing on, aside from anything that's digital that's piquing my interest that I have already in my digital libraries. But I do plan on playing these. Returnal's next. Fortnite, I'm going to play a little bit of. Now this game here, the reason why this is on there is because that's how GameStop delivered it. But this game I'm not opening for a couple of reasons. One is, I feel like the way that Nintendo goes, they release things that are pretty interesting, but they release them like limited time or limited numbers. So I wanted to keep something Nintendo that is sealed. I don't ever plan on getting rid of it. I know what's in it. If I really want to play it, maybe I'll buy it digitally, even though it's kind of against what this video is about. But maybe I'll get it digitally since I already have it physically. So yeah, that's just like something for me, just to have something sealed. That's interesting. It's kind of goes back to the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I have that digitally, and I had it digitally before I started going crazy with this. But then I realized when they said, yeah, it's gone forever, they really meant it's gone forever. Like, I saw it after the fact at Walmart, and then all of a sudden I never saw it again. So, a couple months back, I was able to save up for some gift cards through a program at work. So I saved up a bunch of eBay gift cards, like $7,500 worth. And then I went on eBay to find that game, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And I found a pretty good condition one that had pretty good shipping on it. And I put a bid on it. It was like 14. It was like going to end in 14 days or whatever. But I put a bid on it, and then somebody else put a bid on it, and I put a bid on it again, and then I just let it go for like a week. And then like at the end that night, I was just like, bid, place bid, place bid. I would do like whatever it is. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it, but let's just say like it was $25. I would do 26, and all of a sudden somebody would hit 28. I'd be like, okay, $35, and I'd wait. And I got to like the last 10 seconds. I was like, boom, hit it with a big offer. Nobody touched it, but of course I didn't get it for that. But you know, everybody was like, you could see the bids kind of rolling in, but I got it. It was like, it kind of, I'm not, I could be competitive, and it kind of brought out like a competitiveness in me. But that's an expensive one, so I don't plan on doing that much. But that was fun. And I had gift cards, so it wasn't like I was using my money anyway. Yeah, I did use those $75 worth of gift cards, but it wasn't too much out of my pocket. But anyway, these are the games. Sorry if this was kind of far away. I'm in my living room. It's kind of sitting near the TV, and I'm sitting on the couch. So we'll see if that works out. But anyway, I just wanted to put a game out there, or a video out there for you guys. I didn't play much last week after Fortnite, the new Fortnite chapter came out. I either had seasickness or vertigo, or a mix of the two, because I would stand up and didn't know which way was up for a minute. And I was like, I'm not going to subject myself to running around in circles in Fortnite when I don't feel that great. And then I went on vacation. So, so it was a little bit of everything all at once. But I'm going to play tonight, or Monday, or whenever. And I'm going to play a lot more frequently moving forward. So anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Sorry if it's too kind of far and you can't see what the hell I'm talking about, but hopefully I was projecting enough you could hear what I was saying and it was interesting. But yeah, out of these games, let me know which game, aside from Returnal, which game I should play next, which games I should be interested or excited for. And do you have a backlog? I'm sure you do. What games are in your backlog? I'd love to talk to you about that. But I do thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Game on.